Greetings, adventure travelers and fellow keepers of the lake. How are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Plug and Play. It is a series in which we take little bits and pieces that I've designed or found on the internet and used in my game to use in yours. Today I'm giving you a tavern that you can drop into literally any fantasy game without any prep needed. So it is, I don't know, one of my favorites when it comes to taverns, probably because it's so simple yet feels kind of, personal. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it is interesting and I really love it. It's called Get Hit, or as we call it in Serbian, Udri. And it is owned by a half-orc named Onyx. So the gimmick of the tavern is that it has a big fighting pit in the middle of it. Not really a gladiatorial arena or like a grand coliseum, but more like a tavern where dudes punch each other as part of the evening entertainment, which in a fantasy setting kind of makes sense. I found this map online, I will put it on the screen, and I don't know who made it. I will put the creator in the description, and please, I have no idea if it's just a screenshot or a paid tavern. If it is a paid one, throw some coins towards the creator. But yeah, I kind of found it in Google Images and figured out it would be a good inspiration for my game. It sparked this whole idea. And yeah, the ring is the centerpiece and kind of the soul of the place. You can imagine your players coming in and seeing two drunks wrestling while everyone else just like is eating their stew and placing bets. Let me tell you about the owner. As I said, he's a half-orc named Onyx, around 40 years of age in human years, so you can kind of translate that to orc terms. And he's a muscular, scarred-looking man who seems like he's seen actual war. He's usually shirtless with a proper apron on. Imagine if I was buff and green. The kind of guy who looks like he could break your arm and then pour your drink with a smile, basically. So he comes from a tribal background. He was from like a lawless place, something where barbarian tribes would roam. Maybe like Dothraki tribes in Game of Thrones, or in our setting, it is the no man's land, basically stolen lands from Kingmaker, but there were some, tribes there, and I figured why wouldn't he be from there? And his tribe was wiped out by a bandit lord. If you're playing Kingmakers, then he is probably being wiped out by Stag Lord. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And that can be a potential hook for a quest if your players need one. So after the tribe fell, he wandered a bit and eventually found his way to whatever big city you have in that region. There, he found a lot of hospitality, and the cultures and inns really fascinated him. Maybe you can say that it was his first encounter with that, if he was living like this barbarian life. And he really started to kind of be like he wants to run one for himself. Maybe you can say that your town had this gladiatorial arena or some type of entertainment in like that direction. And you can say that in his tribe, it was a tradition that they had nightly fights. Who is the strongest? They would try to figure that out every night. Again, very similar to the Dothraki. And when he found this town and the gladiatorial arena, he climbed the ranks really fast. So at one point, he became not only feared, but also wanted. He killed a lot of city guards that also wanted to make some extra coin in the ring. And eventually, one of the local nobles made a deal with him, cleared his name for killing those guards in exchange for something. Again, a good quest hook. And to help him out, even opened the tavern for him. I mean, what the deal was, that's completely up to you. Maybe the noble just wanted to be a piece of a most entertaining tavern in the city. Whatever feels right for you. So to roleplay Onyx, you basically just imagine a cheerful and loud guy, very tall, and just his laugh fills the room and he laughs at his own jokes and judges people in extremes. So there's no middle ground with him. Either he welcomes you warmly, claps you on the back and says you're his friend, or he picks you up and just throws you out the door. You shouldn't be subtle here. Your players walk in, he seizes them in 3 seconds and they just pass or they don't. If they act tough and seem like fighters and adventurers, which they probably do, they'd be fun to watch in the ring. Yeah, Onyx loves them. Players who come looking for trouble, he will just try to kick them out. Of course, there might be some form of like an argument then, and they might start to hate him, but hey, that's the part of the story. Not every NPC will be loved. So yeah, he's just a warrior, retired warrior who found peace in running a tavern where people beat each other up for sport. And honestly, that is refreshing, right? And not every NPC needs 3 layers of motivation and hidden agenda, just when it comes to the menu, I know a lot of people like to prepare a menu and the prices. I wouldn't go over prices or anything like that here, but some ideas could be grilled sausages with bread, simple and thrilling. Yeah, stewed pork with peas, maybe. That's some heavy tavern food, like the food we like here in Serbia. And yeah, whatever else fits your setting. When it comes to drinks, ales, wines, and the specialty of the house called dragon's blood. Red pepper, honey, and supposed drop of real dragon's blood. It inspires courage, according to Onyx. Obviously, it's not real dragon's blood, probably some kind of fire lizard or salamander blood or something that Onyx sources from a hunter up north. So when it comes to the fights themselves, they are usually knockout or submission, not really fights to the death. Battling is the whole point. And spectators gamble. They wager on who is gonna win. And Onyx himself will fight if challenged with great enthusiasm, but he's not easy to beat. Try to scale him so he's not too powerful for a tavern keeper, but still is a challenge to your players. He will be a very good sport when it comes to, being beat. If they beat him, he will congratulate them, maybe buy them even drinks, say you have free drinks here all the time. He's a good sport about it. And this is a perfect way to just earn some time in your session. If you don't have a fight prepared and they really want to fight something, give them a scrappy local to beat up or let them gamble. Maybe there's another adventuring party and they come inside and they are a proper challenge. Maybe destroy half of the tavern in that fight. But still, the locals and Onyx are just loving it. Even if the guards come and say, hey, you have demolished half of the tavern, this is horrible, maybe Onyx is like, come on, and just pays them, a little bit of corruption. It's good to have a little bit of corruption in your world. So yeah, he should be a good and loving character. So let's go over the hooks that we mentioned so far. We have the Bandit Lord, something that maybe he spills over drink at night when he's drunk and says that the Bandit Lord is still somewhere out there and he would really like to go and get his revenge. The second hook is the Noble Death, so maybe they met the noble and now you have one noble that already has a story arc with your players. Maybe you're connected to this. Gives a new layer to things. Maybe the players get dragged into this whole political conflict or find that Onyx is just one part of a huge plot in the city. Why not? It's a good entry point to something like that. And the third one is the Ring Champion. Someone who has been undefeated for the longest time and maybe they are cheating. Maybe they're just too good. Maybe they're one of the lieutenants of the big bad evil guy. You can really play around with this. And the last one, something that my players did, is after they fought him and enjoyed the tavern for a bit, they actually invited him to come and join their settlement. They started building a settlement in No Man's Land. He offered to go and create his tavern there. So now they have a tavern with a ring in their own city. And he's a loyal follower who will not spill their secrets, but also has no idea what they're talking about when they have their city council meeting. Anyways, a cool friend to have in your settlement. This is the best sales pitch for a half-orc barbarian that I've ever given. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you find it useful. Drop a comment if you end up using him in your game. I want to hear how your players handled him, how they destroyed the tavern. I hope to see you in the ring while I eat my meal, but until then, I bid you
farewell, keepers.